Sprint review. The Scrum team does all the work necessary to achieve the sprint goal by creating valuable, useful increments throughout the sprint. Multiple increments may be created within a sprint. The team can deliver a done increment to stakeholders anytime during the sprint. You can deliver one done increment here. You can deliver another one here. As far as they are ready for delivery, comply with the definition of done. However, there is a formal event to inspect all the increments created within the sprint. It is held at the end of the sprint and is called the sprint review. As for other Scrum events, this one is an opportunity to inspect and adapt Scrum artifacts, namely all the increments that were created during the sprint. And this event, too, is specifically designed to enable transparency. The purpose of the sprint review is to inspect the outcome of the sprint and determine future adaptations. But it is not a gate to release value. Who attends this event? The Scrum team and the stakeholders they invite. When does this event happen? The sprint review is the second to last event of the sprint. Immediately after it, the sprint retrospective takes place, which concludes the sprint. Optimally, the sprint review is held at the same time and the same place to reduce complexity. The sprint review event is time-boxed to a maximum of 4 hours for a 1-month sprint. For shorter sprints, the event is usually shorter. However, Scrum does not say anything about whether for sprints lasting less than 1 month, the maximum duration of the event should be proportionally less. There is no such thing as no more than 2 hours is required for a 2-week sprint. No. The Scrum Master ensures that the event is positive, productive, and kept within the time box. During the event, the Scrum team presents the results of their work to key stakeholders. The sprint review is a working session, and the Scrum team should avoid limiting it to a presentation. The presentation is only one part of the sprint review. If the Scrum team created multiple increments within the sprint, then the sum of them is presented at the sprint review. If a product backlog item does not meet the definition of done, it cannot be presented at the sprint review. Instead, it returns to the product backlog for future considerations. Is the sprint review the first time stakeholders see increments? Not necessarily. An increment may be delivered to stakeholders prior to the end of the sprint. However, even if you presented and delivered some increments during the sprint, this does not negate the need to hold this event. After the presentation, the Scrum team and stakeholders review what was accomplished in the sprint. This may include receiving feedback from stakeholders, including their opinion, comments, requests. They review what has changed in their environment. New opportunities could arise. They discuss the progress toward the product goal. Based on this information, attendees collaborate on what to do next. And the product backlog may also be adjusted to meet new opportunities. Let's assume you change some elements in the product backlog or added new items. Does it mean these updated items should be taken into the next sprint? Well, not necessarily. As a Scrum team, you will hold the sprint planning event. And there you will decide on the goal and the content of the next sprint. However, the current product backlog and current ordering of the product backlog items can be shown to the stakeholders. This supports transparency. Based on the information discussed, let's fill out the checklist for an effective meeting. You can take a screenshot of this frame. I'll wait for another 10 seconds. Or you can download a PDF with this table by the link in the description for the lesson. But from an effective time management perspective, it's better to perform small tasks immediately. Well, have you taken a screenshot? Anyway, let's move on. For those who have already answered the test questions on this event, here is a checklist of everything that needs to be prepared before the event, that needs to be done during the event, and what needs to be received as an output from the event.